Anyway, so can we start with the rest of the vocabulary? Okay, yeah. Now you have been like enjoying Halloween for like 70 years, but you still enjoy Halloween?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Good for you. So here, number 15, this word. Let me say together, bribe. Bribe. So what do a bribe just mean? You give money to another person for some benefits you want from them, but usually in an illegal way. So like if you say you bribe another person, you mean you give money, you give some benefits to them because you want something good from them in return. But what about the noun of the word bribe? Bribe. Bribery. How do you spell the word bribery? B-R-I-B-E-R-Y, bribery. So here, maybe say the words together about bribery. Yeah, but for the word bribery, what is the reminder? Uncomfortable. The reason why I'm reminding you of this is because like before the first midterm, robbery, a series of robberies. So here for the word bribery is uncomfortable. So here you can say there have been many cases of bribery in that country. 在那个国家已经有很多贿赂。Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's it. Claire looked away. I guess Claire doesn't know 贿赂or 贿赂. She didn't share with that. Yeah. Anyway, like here, the word bribery is uncomfortable. Yeah. Here, the first example, the greedy man was bribed gold and told everything. Here, if you need a preposition, may I ask you what should the preposition be? The greedy man was bribed. Here, just a regular preposition. 用什么东西 with bribe with. Yeah. So here you can say the politician was reported to have been bribed with a higher position from the government official. 用职位收买他. So here you can say bribe with something. Okay. And here the second example, the police officer. If you mean somebody took money, took some benefits from another person, took. So what about another word beginning with the R? Received. But my question is, how do you spell the word receive? R-E-C-I-E or R-E-C-E-I? R-E-C. R-E-C-E-I-B-E, receive. It's okay? R-E-C-E-I, receive. So here, another word you can use is accept. Accept, my apologies. So here, this word, R-E-C-E-I, so you can say took bribe, received bribes, or accepted bribes. It's okay? Yeah. So like here, maybe so talk about receive. Yeah, so it's C-E-I-B. Okay. And here, for the word bribes, if you mean, if you mean an amount of money, or a higher position, it's countable. It means like maybe several amounts of money or several kinds of benefits. Okay, yeah. So like here, before we move on, please read. So like here, it should be took, or accept, or receive. It's okay. So before we move on, please read the first example of the greedy man. Would go and for everything. Thank you. Here, number 16 is pretty easy. So like wisdom. Yeah, wisdom. And here for the word wisdom, the endings of M. Make sure your lips are closed. So like wisdom. And here for the adjective, easy. Wise. And here the first example, one certainly hopes to for this word. For the word. Grow. A word beginning with a G. If you are to get up, can. So the spelling of the word G, gain wisdom as one grows older. Do you think that you gain wisdom as you grow older? Yes. Yeah. A very firm answer. For the second example, could you please read the same one together? He thought he could fool me. When I'm not watching. Yeah, what does that mean? Maybe like some of your friends, they like to play a trick on you, but gradually, like this. Maybe when you were in elementary school, some people like to do this. And but still do that now? Are you kidding me? Like when you were young, some of your classmates, your friends, like they would like to pat you on your right shoulder, but actually they were on your left. So like after one does that to you many times, the next time when one pats on your right shoulder, you wouldn't turn to the right, you turn to the left. So like when you mean you have gotten wise, you have gotten wise. We can say I got wise to her, you mean what could be the Chinese translation? Can you think of a Chinese translation for this? Bell used to fool me, but now I got wise to her. Yeah, like you say now how to. When you say you got wise to him means. Anyway, it just means when you say, oh, I got wise to her, it just means you know she is doing something fun to you, you wouldn't take it seriously, or you wouldn't be fooled for so many times. Yeah. Anyway, right here, may I ask you, if you think knowledge comes from learning, wisdom comes from making this. Right. Four. Steam. I like that. Very close. Yeah, wisdom comes from steam. Yeah. Very close. ing, watching. Steam and watching. Yeah, similar words. Very close. Make a guess. Charlotte. Knowledge comes from learning. Wisdom comes from like the play. Yes, sir. We're beginning. Really, there's an answer from English. Sleeping. Yeah, actually when you sleep, like your brain is still working on the things you have learned. We're beginning with the letter L. I said L, and she said eating. Yeah, learning already used. Looking, laughing. Very close. Yeah, let's see how many words beginning with the letter L do you think of? Looking, laughing, sleeping beginning with the letter S. What did she say? I didn't hear that. The answer, living. Come on. Looking, laughing. Are you really sure that by laughing you get more wisdom? Anyway, yeah, please read close together. Now let's describe. Learning, wisdom, comes from living. Yeah, think about it. I mean, the older you get, the more wisdom or we are supposed to gain. Yeah, think about that. So here, the next one, this word is eventually. Eventually. This word is easy to remember. You see, event means an incident, 一个事件，所以在一个事件的最后 means finally. Finally. Okay. So here, the adjective form of the word eventually, eventual. So like eventual means final. Eventually means finally. So you can say the eventual result of the contest is satisfying. 那个最后比赛的结果让大家都很满意。So like eventual results or the game ended eventually pretty well and we all felt happy. Okay. And here the first example, after checking over the car, again, this guy who can fix machines. A guy who can fix machines. This guy beginning with the letter M-E. Mechanic. If you spell the, if you say the word, yes, you got it. If you say the word mechanic, how do you spell the word mechanic? Mechanic. M-E-C-H-A-N-I-C. CHA, yeah, mechanic. So here the CHA part is pronounced as the part mechanic. Okay. And here just eventually spotted what was wrong with the engine. So like mechanic now is a very important position in the society because like maybe the air conditioners, maybe the electronic appliances, the products at your home could be broken down easily. Okay. And the second example, although the original budget for the project was $1 billion, may I ask you like budget, what does the word budget mean? Haley, what's the word budget mean? Budget. The original budget for the project, what does the word budget mean? Yeah. Means the money you have set aside for some special purpose. And here the eventual, what could be the word that you mean for the money you have spent on something? You might think of the word cost. Yeah, you're right. So you can say eventual cost. Cost 这个字可以当名词，就是花费。Another word beginning with the letter E. Expense. How do you spell the word expense? E-X-P-N-S-E. Yeah, so you see, expense is a more formal word. Means the total money you have spent on something. 跟 cost 两个字都一样，但是 expense 跟通常在用的时候比较formal. So you see, something which requires a lot of expensive. So you see, expensive means something which requires a lot of money per year. 所以昂贵的就是从 expense 这个字来的。Okay, so like form one, could you please read the second example? Although the original budget for the project was $1 million, the eventual expense is likely to be 50% higher. So you see, this is a little review of the things you learned before the first midterm. So when you say 贵了一半 50% higher, not half higher. Half 指的是东西原本的一半，所以多了50%是 50% higher. It's okay. So like when you say the item will be 50% more expensive than that one, 比那个贵了一半. It's okay. Yeah. Here number 18 is easy. May I ask you where is the stress? Fulfill. The second syllable should be fulfill. Okay, so when we say the word together, fulfill. Yeah, so when we say fulfill, just mean realize, make something come true. You really do that. And here for the noun of the word fulfill, requirement, fulfillment. Like here, the fulfillment of something means the realization of something. Realize 这个字不是指本来的意思指的是 understand something suddenly 恍然大悟，可是当动词的话可以指的是 make something come true， 是彻底实行这件事情。So you can say the realization of her dream came true when she was 15 years old. 在她15岁的时候，她的梦想实现了。So realization, fulfillment, similar meanings. Okay. And here the first example, Dylan is a man. If you say somebody who follows or who never breaks her promises, you say it's a man of preposition. And 守信的人. Yeah, a man who keeps his promises. But here, what about preposition? Of, in, at, with, from. Ivy, make a guess. Yeah, maybe not Ivy. Ivy is yawning. She's tired. Amy, make a guess. In, off, at, off. Off is 但是这个地方不会是，如果这个地方如果是 off 的话，是一个小片语，就不会是 promise of。所以守信的人就是他是一个做事情都从他所说的话出来的人 of his word. So when we say like she's really a friend of her word, you mean she's a friend who always keeps her promises, never breaks her promises. Okay, and he will do whatever he can do to. You can say realize or fulfill his promises. Okay, yeah. So here, would you please read the first example here? Dylan is a man of his word, and he will do whatever he can to fulfill his promises. Do you think that you are a friend of your word? I guess we try to be a person like that, but it's really difficult, right? I mean, sometimes maybe we promise somebody something, but we really fulfill it all the time, maybe. Yeah, but we try to do that. And here the second example. If you say something is a fulfilling experience, what does that mean? A fulfilling experience. Maybe you might say like everything you have experienced together will be fulfilling. So when you say something is fulfilling, you mean rewarding experience. So here what could be the Chinese translation? We can say the relay race you had this Tuesday is definitely a fulfilling experience. You spent a lot of time on that, and the result turned out quite pretty good for everyone. So here when you say something is fulfilling, Chinese translation maybe yes, clear. 一个怎样的经验？宝贵的经验。I like that. Okay, so here when you say something is fulfilling, it means rewarding. rewarding. Rewarding means 很值得的事情。So like fulfilling, you mean like you get a lot of, you had fulfilled a lot in that experience, and you think it is worthwhile. Okay. And here the third example, visiting the Great Wall. You know what the Great Wall is? Yeah. The thing in mainland China, and it's this fulfillment. Here, a childhood dream. So here, fulfillment of something. So when you say something is a fulfillment of another thing, you mean it is the realization of. So here the word fulfillment could be used in the exchange with the word realization. Okay, yeah. So before we move on, could you please read the third example here, the visiting the Great Wall? Is the fulfillment of a childhood dream. Thank you. Number 19 is word here. The stress is on the first syllable. So we say about不是 allele, 是 ally. So here when we say this is about ally. Yeah, allies mean a friend of business or a friend of strategy, because you like to achieve a purpose. You make friends with another person or with another organization. So here the word ally, especially for a special purpose. It's okay. And here the plural form, ally. Allies. So here like you say like the country had several allies in the war. 在战争当中有很多的盟友. And here if you use the word as a verb, still the same form, 但是重音会放在后面，所以会从 ally 变成ally. So when we say this like ally. When we use the word ally, it's a verb. Ally is a noun. So like the pronunciations are totally different. And here for the past tense, past perfect tense, ally. Regular change. Okay. Here the first example, North Korea is one of China's, the first one, we need. If you think someone would never betray another person, the guy is a word begin with the letter L. Loyal allies. So when you say like some country is another country's loyal ally, you mean they have a very stable and strong relationship. Here's an example, Italy. Here. Should you use it as a noun or as a verb? 这个地方，如果当动词用的话 ，Italy allied. You can say allied with another country, but if you like use one more word, you can say like allied with. Sorry, my mistake. Just allied with, or allied together with, or allied with. Okay, so it's like go out with, allied with. But here, if you think 这个地方如果再加一个字的话，不用 together， 可是不用 together 没有关系，就是 allied with another country. Okay. In the third example, here you mean A and B, they are allies with each other. 这地方如果当名词用的话，有一个小变化 ，form and， 然后 ally 是盟友 ，ally 是结盟。可是如果是有结盟的关系，策略联盟或是商业联盟 ，over here, start this word. How would you say it? Alliance. So 每个字是个每个字都会是一个 alliance. Yeah. So if you say alliance 就是结盟的关系，所以有答过这个吗 ？Start alliance. Like if you ever take an airplane to a different country. Some flight companies, they are in the group of Star Alliance, like EVA Air and Cathay Pacific. 就很多的航空都是在 Star Alliance 的 group 里面。And what does that mean? It means maybe they have some business cooperation. So when there is a sale, maybe the flight companies in the Star Alliance group, they can share the same advantage. 联络就是策略联盟的意思 ，Star Alliance 是搭飞机的时候会有的东西。Okay. If you bring box, please read the first example together. North Korea. One of China is always allies. Yeah. So you have to hurry up a little bit. Okay. Number 20. This word, the stress plus you. Is on the first syllable. We have conquer. Conquer. Yeah. In the past, sometimes the pronunciation will be conquer, but now it's our habit to move the stress forward. 所以以前会把它放在第二音节，可现在都习惯了关系到第一音节去。So here, whether it's a verb or a noun, we change the pronunciation to conquer always. It's okay. And here for the word conquer, the noun of the word conquest. If we say conquest, how do we spell the word conquest? C-O-N-Q-U quest. Q-U-S-T, conquest. So here, conquer means a verb. Conquest means the noun. Okay? Yeah. So here, please read the first example. Yes, my only conquer. Conquer is fear of spiders. When you say you conquer your fear of, you mean, yeah, overcome your fear of this. Okay, so here another word that you might have learned already is the word overcome. O-V-E-R-C-O-M-E. Okay, but here now you can also use the word conquer. And here the same example. The king wanted nothing but military this. If you meet somebody who is this way, the person always likes to have wars with different countries. So here the word. Yeah, ambitious is a good word. We'll talk about the difference between the word and this word later, but here if we say red, 有攻击性的，有侵略性的 aggressive. How do you spell the word aggressive? A-G-G-R-E, aggressive. Progress 就是生长 ，progress 是在这边我们看到 progress， 所以 A-G-G 就是 to， 所以总是要增加自己权力范围的人，就是有侵略性的人，看得出来哦 ，progress 在这里，所以 P-R-O-G-R-E-S-S，so progress means grow 生长 ，A-G-G 就是 to， 去增加自己权力的人 aggressive。So here the aggressive king wanted nothing but military conquest. 最后一个地方会有问题 ，ambitious and aggressive. How do you spell the word ambitious? A-M-bitious, B-I-T-I-O-U-S, ambitious. So when you say somebody is ambitious, the person has a very high goal that will be difficult to reach, but still in his or her mind. 所以 ambitious 这个字呢比较正面 means 积极的、有企图心的 in a way. So if you say somebody who's ambitious, it's like a positive comment on the person. But if you say the person is aggressive, you mean the person likes to have fights with different people. 所以这两个字的意思有点不一样，就是 ambitious 指的是有企图心的，通常指的是比较正面的想法。But aggressive always negative. It just means hostile. 如果你有 H-O-S-T-I-L-E, hostile 就指的是容易有敌意的人 hostile, aggressive, similar words. But ambitious just means that you have a goal in your mind, and the goal will be difficult, but you still want it anyway. Okay? Yeah, that's it. Let's take a break. Thank you. Give a girl the right, and she can conquer the world. What do you think you need? I mean, if you are now wearing uniform today, what would be the most important accessory that you have for yourself? Glasses, t-shirt, pants. What would be the most important accessory for you? Bag. I mean, like before, one day you go out, and here, when you go out, what would be the thing you pay attention to the most? What would be the item that you spend a lot of time choosing before you go out? Your clothes, your eyeglasses, your watch, or your shoes. Did you pay a lot of attention to the shoes you wear? But what about your mom and your sister? Do they have many pairs of shoes? No, really? Okay, yeah. Think about it. Maybe like. Of course, you cannot wear your mom's shoes. How can you wear your mom's shoes? Like you wear different sizes. But anyway, yeah, think about it. Number 31 is word. The stress is on the first syllable. Who's about cunning? I didn't show this to you before. Wait a second. Here, this word is cunning. Yeah, the word opposite. You should not be with them. You should be the one that calms them down. Hey. Wait. The word cunning, if someone who cannot do things in a clever way, like somebody who makes mistakes very often, not really smart and could make mistakes sometimes, clumsy. Yeah, clumsy. How to spell the word clumsy? Yeah, when you say somebody who's clumsy, you mean somebody who's not cunning, and the two, they are opposite words to each other. So clumsy in Chinese you might say 不灵光的或是笨手笨脚的以为。So you can say like when it comes to wrapping gifts, he is clumsy. Yeah. You watch the video and you try to imitate the sound of the cat at the same time. I don't get it. But here the first example. Could you please read it? Who was outwitted by? Outwitted by his cunning opponent. What do you mean when you say you were outwitted by another person? Wit means smart, smartness. Wit. This word, wit, W-I-T, is a noun, means smartness. So here when you say somebody was outwitted by another person, you mean like in some stories in history, sometimes somebody would be outwitted by another person, means win something not by violence, but by doing something smart. In Chinese you might say this, yeah, be outwitted by. So when you say, then what could be another translation from you if you don't say that you were outwitted by another person? 被计算 calculated. Anyway, like when you say be outwitted, you don't mean it's something not good. Just mean you want something not by doing something violent, but by doing something smart. Okay, so like here when you say somebody got outwitted by another person, you mean not in a bad way. Just mean you use your intelligence to achieve your goals. Okay? Yeah. Here, but what about if you say that was a cunning move? That was a cunning touch. What do you mean when you say something's a cunning move? Yeah, that means that's no, not touch. Move. Step. Means 狡猾的一步，或者狡猾的一招，这一招就是狡猾。Okay, now read you touch another. Anyway, here what about another word for cunning? If you say crafty, how do you spell the word crafty? Crafty. C-R-A-F-T-Y. Crafty. So like cunning, crafty. When you say something is crafty, in Chinese you might say 算计过. Usually when you say crafty, not so positive. So you can say that is a crafty plan. Maybe that you plan to play a trick on another person, and the plan is so carefully designed that the person is surely to be fooled by you. And you can say that's a crafty plan. That means that's a really smart plan, but in a way, maybe not so positive. And then what about another word? You can say wily. How do you spell the word wily? Wily. W-I-L-Y. Yeah, when you say, but here, crafty and wily. I don't get it. What does that mean? Wily. So it's wily. Now here, we use read words to get my cunning, crafty, wily. Who is the most cunning person in our class? I guess I'm the clumsiest person in our class. You see, you are always up to something. Like, you know, like if I can pick the most cunning person. Yeah, when I said that who's the most cunning person, everybody suddenly looks like that. Yeah, me. So here, everybody use words like hollow. Hollow. Yeah, not hello. Not hello. Hello. H-E-L-L-O. H-E-L-L-O. Hello. H-E-L-L-O. Hollow means another word for the word hollow. That begins with an E. M. M. Empty. What is the word empty? Yeah, E-M-P-T-Y. But here, what about the first example? He gave, or she gave a slightly hollow laugh. What do you mean when you say somebody gives a hollow laugh? A laugh that is hollow. What does that mean? For a girl, if you gives a guy a hollow laugh, you'll be like this. Okay. But then for a guy who gives a hollow laugh, for a guy. So in Chinese, when you say a hollow laugh, what does that mean? Yeah, it means you laugh insincerely, or you laugh in a way that you don't really mean it. So usually, this is a hollow laugh. I mean, like, usually when you give somebody a hollow laugh, you don't do that sincerely. You do it in a way to make fun of others. And here, what about the second one? Please read it. I've had enough of there. Hollow promises. When you say a promise is hollow, what does that mean? Like in Chinese, we have a totally different translation. Like in English, you might say hollow laugh. Hollow promise. So if you give somebody a hollow promise, you mean you promise somebody something, but you never really fulfill it. You never really follow it. So in Chinese, you might say a four-word expression. The politician always gives hollow promises. Jean or Jenny. Yeah. In Chinese, oh, you're right. Like we don't use chen, we use check. Yes. So we use a hollow promise, meaning a promise that is not made to be fulfilled by you. It's okay. She keeps bullying you. In what way? She used her car here to tease you. Because this part of hers is really cute. From the pictures we saw last night. No, I'm sorry. How about let's do this first one? Here. Oh, sorry. The car A-U. But we don't say how, we don't say ah, we say all. So when you think about it, all. Herself out of bed. Did you haul yourself out of your bed this morning?
No.
Really? I didn't haul myself. I kept myself in bed. So like here when you say you hold somebody out of something, you mean this. Yeah. So like here when you hold something, you hold something hard. But what about the second one? Here, could you please read it? Fisherman had. Fishermen have been complaining of poor hauls of ears. Haul 这个字语很简单嘛，就是拉，所以呢有两个常用的意思，把人家拉起来就是不情愿的去做一件事情。Maybe you can say my mom always hauls my brother to clean his room， 把他拉去整理房间。说 haul 这个字呢，就是抽象的，就是半强迫的叫人家做某事情like that。But here, what about here? Complaining about poor hauls of ears。这地方是不会是拉的，对不对？可是这个字跟拉有关系。Like when fishermen, they are catching fish, they need to pull up the nets. So when you say pour haul, you mean the amount of fish caught in a certain period. In Chinese, you might say this. Yeah. 所以这样可以知道哦，渔获量，当然讲收获那个字，收割学过吗 ？H 开头的 harvest. Remember harvest. 那个字指的是农作物的 harvest of crops。农作物的收割 ，but here haul 这个字那个量稍微知道一下，因为就是 haul 就是把东西拉起来，等于说把渔网拉起来的那一个量 haul。Okay. So here, would you please read examples again? Fishermen have been complaining of poor hauls all year. Thank you. Idea number 24 is easy. So about feast. Yeah, so it's feast. Feast. Similar pronunciation. So here we say you enjoy a big meal. The word feast could be used as a verb or as a noun. So here, if I give you the first word, you feast, and then smoked salmon and champagne. You know salmon? Salmon sandwich. Yeah, smoked salmon and champagne. So here we say you had big meal on here. Yeah, big meal, 吃大餐 feast on the meal. Yes, yeah, feast 没有。Anyway, like here, feast on something. 这个介词要跟什么一起记呢？中国人通常以米饭为主食。Chinese people usually feed on rice. Feed on F-E-E-D. Feed 是指喂食哦。Feed on rice 指的是 ，yeah, feed 是喂食没错。You can say like I feed my cat every day. But here we say Westerners often feed on noodles. 就以什么为主食？like cows feed on grass, sheep feed on grass. You see? Okay. Yeah. And here the second example. Could you please read it as you cruise the waterways? Waterways, feast your eyes on the gorgeous views of this word, illuminate. See, this word illuminate we learned before. The first meaning of illuminate means illuminate means light up, 点亮. Illuminated means lit. 小心哦，这个是 light 当动词的时候，过去式是 light, lit. Yeah, so you can say like views of the lit up city. 等于说呢，被点亮的城市。So here you say you feast your eyes on something. You mean when you go to the swimming pool, you can feast your eyes on the muscle guys there. You feast your eyes on something. So when you feast your eyes on something, you mean you enjoy the view of. In Chinese, you might say, yeah, just mean you can say you feast your eyes on the view. You feast your eyes on the people you like. So when you say you feast your eyes on something, you just mean you enjoy the view of a group of people or a certain people. Okay, yeah. So like here, number 25 is easy. This one, rejoice. Yes. So here, joy is here, J-O-I-C-E, not J-O-Y-C-E. So like rejoice, second syllable. Yeah, joyce. And here, the difference, something we need to pay attention to the word rejoice is that if you say like excite, you should say we are excited about. But here the word rejoice, we always use it in the active voice. 一定是主动态，知道吗？ So here like everyone rejoice this way. But the word rejoice, when you use it, you need a preposition. 要有搭配介词 like talk with, or she feels delighted in. 所以这地方 rejoice 一定是主动态，后面接的介词会是 at or in. So you can say that everybody rejoiced in the news of his department. So here, just one little reminder for you would be the word rejoice is always used in the active voice. It's okay? Yeah. Okay, move on. Number 26, this will be the last word. This word is like attack. Easy. So here the first example, enemy force attack. The first word, we learned it in Unit 5. You may say start, but what about another word? Angela. You might say start in attack, but another word beginning with a letter L. You sell a ship. You sell an album. Launch and attack. And then 介词对谁发动攻击 ？Launch and attack to on with off on something. It's okay. Attack on something. Attack to 比较少用，基本的介词是 on， 等于说就好像攻击就降临在那个城市上面的感觉，所以 attack on the city. It's okay. We can say like Russia launch an attack on Syria last week. 俄罗斯上个礼拜对叙利亚发动攻击 ，launch attack on a city or on some area. It's okay. And the second example, could you please read it? The government has come under attack from all sides for cutting education spending. So when you say somebody came under attack from all sides, what do you mean? The person got attacked by all the people from different fields. In Chinese, you might say what? This. So like here, from all sides, this means people from different fields. So when you say somebody came under attack from all sides, or some organization came under attack from all sides, you mean like received or got a lot of criticism. Okay, yeah. And a third example, this is very difficult. Would you please read it? Bacteria. Act on sugars to form acids which attack the tooth surface. 这句话问两个翻译，一个是第一个，一个是第二个。那第二个是 attack 嘛，所以第一个跟尝试有关，可以怎么翻比较好 ？You know acid, right? Yeah, acid means some dangerous material that could corrupt the surface of something. 酸性的物质，所以第一句要怎么翻比较好 ？Act on sugars to form acids. Bacteria means germs, right? Germs, G-E-R-M-S. 细菌. Like when you say something acts on another thing, means think of this. Julie. We say bacteria act on sugars to form acids. Act on means something to blah blah blah. 所以细菌 yeah, like this. Okay, so you can say bacteria act on sugars. You can say 就是细菌要靠那个才能够维持。So you can say germs, or you can say larva. You know larva? 幼虫. Yeah, you can say the babies of mosquitoes act on water. 等于说呢，蚊子的幼虫要靠水来生长，so act on something to form acids. But what about the second part? Attack the tooth surface. Surface means the outside part of something, so attack the tooth surface just means corrupt the tooth surface. Okay? Yeah. So before we move on, Julie read example once again, bacteria. Act on sugars to form acids, which attack the tooth surface. Yeah, so just a reminder for you, if you use the word attack, it's a transitive verb, 是及物动词。可是变成名词的时候变成不及物，所以一定要 attack on something. But here you use it as a verb, attack something. Easy? Okay. So that's all about the vocabulary. Any questions? If not, here, just a little break. Part 2. Make a guess. Who might be in the photo? Yeah, very typical expression of heart. Make a guess who might be in the photo. Yes, sir. Who might be in the photo? Yeah, not Yiqian because she like showed up in one of the photos already. So this time, who? 林姐，who is 林姐？杨叶如的。林姐。哦 ，Melody。 in your work, you need photos from you. You have a lot of photos about you. Yeah, who's eating all the time? Not April. Not April. She seems to enjoy that a lot. Okay, yeah. The last one. Yes, sir. I still have a lot of photos. You see, the quality of the photos is really good. Anyway, yeah, we need to move on with the sentence pattern. So could you please go to the page of the sentence pattern in the book? Today we need to talk about the second sentence pattern. This is very easy. So like here, for the first example, could you please read it? 10 years of war. Between these three, this word is an allies. Yeah, could you please read the sentence again? 10 years of war. And Troy followed. As time went by, the former won many battles but still couldn't conquer the later. And here the second one. Please read it. Cynthia has 2 pets. The dog and the cat. Actually, he likes the later better than the former. So here, you see the former and the later, just some reminders quickly. Number 1, the Chinese meaning is like this. Easy. Second, this is something we should know. You have to point out clearly the subjects that you would like to talk about in the previous sentence, so that afterwards you can use the former and the later to talk about the subjects covered already in the sentences before. It's okay? This is easy, but you have to know. If the subjects 对象 are not clearly mentioned, then we shouldn't use the former and the later, because that way we wouldn't know who or what is talked about. And here, just one last reminder, please. Later, L-A-T-E-R, I will talk to you later, means afterward, 之后的。可这个地方 later, always a noun. 这个字当名词就是后者。The only meaning, and here you use double the word, the T, L-A-T-E-R. It's okay. You see, these are all the reminders we should know. So can we just have some quick practice? Please read the first example, beef noodles. Dumplings are both popular dishes in Taiwan. Generally speaking, beef noodles are more expensive than dumplings. Here, for the underlined part, if you use the formula later to change the sentence, how can we change it now? Ask you. Generally speaking, the former, should you use are or is? 这是最后一个要提醒的，这很简单，所以讲一下就知道了。一般来说呢，前者比后者来的贵一点。这个地方，如果你用的 former 的话，是 is 还是 are 呢 ？Because after you mention all the noodles in this category in the second sentence, you just use it as a whole. 所以这个地方的 former 的 later 在已经讲过了以后，第二次出现的时候，我们把它当做一个概念来讲。We treat all the members as a group. So you mean the previous group 前一组比 the second group 下一组，所以这地方如果是前者后者的话，永远都是单数，知道哦？因为这地方是单个概念说。It's okay, easy. So you see, beef noodles are more expensive than dumplings, but here, please read the sentence together. Generally speaking, the former is more expensive than the later. Yeah, so this is it. This is the fourth reminder. 这个地方永远是单数 because you already treat it as a whole, as a concept. It's okay. Yeah. So here the second one. Could you please read the example together? We can turn to a designer or do it ourselves when it comes to decorating our new house. Turning to this word, which one? Designer. Yeah. Could you please move on? Turning to a designer. While doing it ourselves is fun. May I ask you, like, do you sometimes go to IKEA or IKEA with your friends? Yeah, do you like to go to IKEA with your friends? Maybe. But here, how would you change the sentence by using the former and the later? The former is effective, while the later is fun. Please read this together. Once again, the former is subtracted while the later is fun. Easy? For the rest of it, because they are very easy, we'll skip them. So please take out your group, your notebook, your pen notebook. Yeah, please take out your pen notebook. Here, questions. We will skip the exercises because they're very easy. But here, questions. Would you please read the sentence here? Maroon 5 is a popular band from the US. Mayday is a popular band from Taiwan. The former, while the later. 1 minute. Please write out a sentence. Please write out a sentence. The former, the later. Please write out a sentence by using the former, the later, and make a comparison between the two bands. If there's any comparison you can think of. The former, while the later. I guess you all know them, right? I mean, there are many things you can think of for the two groups. You can start from something very, very basic to something very, very abstract. But there are many things you can talk about between these two groups. May I ask you, before we listen to your sentences, there's something that I would like you to avoid writing down. You know what that is? The former is from the US. The later is from Taiwan. Do not write it down. It's already here. Do not tell me the former is from the US while the later is from Taiwan. Dude, don't. Time's up. Eva. Did you run out any sentence? I guess you are very familiar with that. Melissa, did you write down any sentence? Come on. Then we'll hear from you later. Claire. What's Claire again? Betty. Cindy. Where's Cindy? Cindy, did you write down any sentence? Yeah, what's your sentence? The former is more handsome. While the later
is more friendly.
It's more friendly. It's more friendly. It's not that you are not handsome. It's you look more friendly. Okay, yeah, I like that. Lydian, did you write down any sentence? Stella. Yushan. Where's Stella? Did you write down any sentence? What? You don't know them? You don't know Maroon 5? It's okay. It's okay. Stella. Did you write down any sentence? Charlotte, what's your sentence? Hey, listen up. The former is unfamiliar to you, while the later is more familiar to you. Wait a minute, I guess you all know Maroon 5. Are you kidding me? That's okay. Stay calm, Charlotte. You know them, right? Don't tell me that you don't know them. TFG is another famous high school in Taipei. The former or the later. 1 minute! For this question, don't tell me you don't know it. You look like your mom. Please do not write down. The former is in Zhongshan district, while the later is in Zhongzhen district. Please. Or please do not write down. The former is named CSTH, while the later is named TFG. Do not tell me that, please. The former wears white, while the later wears green. Go, Frank.
We are the best.
She said that. She started to laugh. Like, we are the best. Anyway, hey, Katie, did you write out a sentence? Yeah, what's your sentence? Can we hear it? Wait, calm down. What's that? Oh, may you repeat your sentence once again? The former. The former has white uniforms, while the later has green uniforms.
It's open.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're really nice. I like that. Wait, Zell, did you write down any sentence? The former is what? The former is sillier. Thinner. The former is thinner, while the later is wiser. Melody, Xiaowei, did you write down any sentence? No. Did you write down any sentence? Sandy, what's your sentence? The former is younger, while the later is older. What do you mean? You mean the pictures? I don't get it, seriously. Melody, did you write down a sentence? What? Did you write down any? The former is more blank, 没有形容词, while the later is more beautiful. Okay, anyway, yeah. The third, I guess we need to hurry up. Originally, the third pair is. My mom, she couldn't tell the difference between them. Seriously, my mom. There was one time when we were watching DVDs together at home, and my mom happened to see me watch the DVD of Twilight, and she told me, "Wow, turns out it's Sherlock." Maybe for the elderly, they couldn't tell the difference between the two stars. But I guess we have to hurry up. Out of time. I'm sorry. Can you go to the reading part? Yeah, you mean like the former and the later. It would be easy for you to make a comparison. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine with me. Anyway, like, could you please go to the reading part? Thank you. Yeah. So here, could you please go over the reading part together later, Aphrodite. Wait, this word, we just talked about the word. Which one? Fulfill. Yeah, once again later, Aphrodite. Fulfill a promise by casting a spell on Helen. Aphrodite also helped Paris bring Helen with him to Troy. Upon learning what had happened, the king of Sparta was so furious that he called for help from several rulers of other states. 8 years of war between these three allies and Troy followed. As time went by, the former won many battles, but still couldn't conquer the later. the possible cause of the war because the three goddesses that were fighting for the apple to the Pharaohs. And then Paris made the judgment because he wanted the beauty of Allen. So he gave the apple to Aphrodite and then this war was caused, right? And here, later Aphrodite fulfilled her promise by casting a spell on. They ask you, when you say cast a spell on another person, what would be the meaning? Or, before we talk about cast a spell on, often you might say cast a smile. When I see the boy I like, I cast a smile to him. I hope you could catch my smile. So right, I'm speaking from your point of view. You may not mean when I see a boy like him. Like cast a smile means this. You show somebody a smile. So here the word cast. 这个字呢，过去式、过去分词 like beat, beaten, hit. So like here the same change. So like here 这个字的三态都是 cast. So cast. But the word cast means throw. So it's like when you say you throw somebody a smile, we mean you show somebody a smile. So okay. So here for the expression cast a spell on. Spell means a magic slogan, a magic expression that could change another person into something else. So you can say the witch cast a spell on the prince and turned him into a frog. So when you say cast a spell on another person, you mean this. Okay, so here the word spell in Chinese you mean 咒语. So you can say like an expression with magic power that could change things or people. It's okay? Yeah. So you can say Aphrodite fulfilled her promise by putting a spell on Helen, so that Helen would fall in love with Paris right away when she saw him, right? And here Aphrodite also helped Paris bring Helen with him to Troy. Upon learning what had happened, upon learning, this is a meaning, sentence pattern, I can ask you. If you say upon doing something, blah, 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 what would be the meaning of the expression upon, blah, blah, blah? Upon hearing the ringing of my alarm clock, I jumped out of bed right away. So like upon doing something means as fast. Remember, upon learning something. So you can say upon learning what had happened. But here, I ask you, the word learning, how do you explain the word learning? Means upon knowing. The word learn doesn't really mean acquire knowledge because here this means you hear about some news. So you can say upon knowing what had happened, the king of Sparta was so angry that he called for help from above. But my question is, 这句话可以这样改吗？因为不是一怎么样就怎么样。Can you change as soon as learning that the king of Sparta was so furious? 这样不是分词构句吗？ The answer is no. It's okay. 这地方要小心。As soon as 不能改分词构句哦，知道吗？ This is a rule that we have to memorize. So here, upon learning what happened， 因为这地方之前你可能会 generalize 的规则会是说，如果是当连接使用的副词的字或是片语的话，就可以改分词构句，就是那种省略主词的用法。可这地方 as soon as 不可以这样改，这是一个小规则，但是就只有一两个会这样子。OK， 但是这个地方，如果你要用 as soon as 的话呢，是一个小提醒，讲到完整句哦，知道哦。所以这个地方如果是 upon learning what had happened, the king of Sparta was so furious that blah blah blah。这个地方如果是 as soon as 的话，应该是 as soon as the king of Sparta learned what had happened, he was so furious that blah blah blah。这样知道哦，所以这地方稍微记一下 ，as soon as 的话一定要两个完整句，但是 upon 就一定是分词构句，like upon learning what had happened, the king of Sparta was so angry that blah blah blah。Okay, yeah. And here, when you say he called for help from several rulers of other Greek states, when you say you call for something, what do you mean? I guess this we learned it before. Let me ask you, April. When you say you call for something, you mean I call for help from my classmates when I couldn't lift the heavy box. Means that you need something from another person. But here, there's another two-word expression I ask you. 要求一件事情 from another person. Jane, call for, also for. 但是动词会有换掉。I need some money for my graduation trip, so I call for help from my parents. I 要求 ask for help. So here you can say that you are so fierce that he asked for help from several rulers of other Greek states. Okay. And here 10 years of war follow. 接下来就发生一件事情。As time went by, when you say as time went by, it means the word as is used like the word when. 随着时间 went by. As time, one word. For the expression go by. If you use one word to replace the word go by, a word beginning with the letter P. As time passed. 是这样吗？ Passed. Passed 过去式不是这个吗？ No, it should be pass. It's okay. 这个 pass 在英文说是介词哦，所以 can say like 我昨天经过那间便利商店的时候，看到我的同学。I saw my classmate when I walked past 这个地方当介词用。When I walked past the convenience store yesterday， 所以这地方 pass 当经过的过去式 pass 在这边。It's okay. Yeah. So here like as time passed, the former won many battles while we couldn't conquer the later, like the former and the later we talked about before. It's okay. So like here once again, double T, please. And here when you use the former and the later, always singular verb. 因为已经当做一个对象，所以都是单数动词。It's okay. So like here before we move on, could you please read the part once again later for diving? Fulfill the promise by casting a spell on Allen. And for diving, also help Paris bring Allen with him to Troy. Upon learning what had happened, the king of Sparta was so fierce that he called for help from several rulers of other Greek states. 10 years of war between these Greek allies and Troy followed. As time went by, the former won many battles, but still couldn't conquer the later. Yeah, could you please cover one more paragraph? Could you please go on the Greeks? Therefore, turn to Athena in the hope of ending the war. Athena, who was still angry about Paris' choice, provided the Greeks with the key to winning the final victory by saying, "What began with an apple must end with a horse." Yeah, and this was also the plot we watched in the video like a week before last, right? And here a reminder: the Greek therefore turn to Athena in the hope of. If you say you turn to somebody for something, when you say you turn to somebody means you go to somebody for something. 所以这地方会引申为就是 you go to somebody for help. So here when you say turn to somebody, 这地方给小片语是就算没有 for something， 你可以说 you can turn to me if you need help. 你可以来找我，当你需要帮忙的时候，或是你可以说 I always turn to my mom if I need help. 这个地方你就不用说 turn to my mom for something. You said turn to somebody just mean you go to somebody, and you already imply you need somebody's help. Okay. And here, like in the hope of, here, this is a mini expression we learned before the first midterm. You can say like turn to Athena to hope to end the war. 所以这地方有小片语 in the hope of doing something， 希望能够达到什么样的事情。So you can say I wrote a card to the writer in the hope of receiving his autograph. 我写张卡片给那个明星，希望能够得到他的签名。So like you do something in the hope of blah 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 means you would like someone to do something for you. It's okay. And here like Athena, who was still angry about Paris' choice, provided the Greeks with. Here, provide somebody with something. It's okay. Yeah, but here what about provide something? 如果这个地方你说，德国提供难民足够的食物 ，Germany provided the refugees with enough food。或者我倒过来说 ，Germany provided enough food。这边 provide something to another person. So you can say Germany provided enough food to the refugees. Give something to somebody. Okay? Provide somebody with something. Provide something. You can say for or to. Both are okay. You can say provide something to somebody or somebody. Okay? Yeah. And here the key to winning the final victory. This is the mini expression. You say the key to doing something. ING. Yeah. A little reminder. Because 这个地方，如果你觉得 ing 不好记的话呢，因为你觉得后面会接动词原形的话，你把它想象成一件事情的关键，所以是名词，所以这地方用动名词也是 ing， 大家知道哦。因为这地方做事情的关键，代表这边是一件事。 Okay, so here it's like this. So what about the translation? 10 seconds. Think about it. 一个字上是翻过了，维持一件事情。但是讲到维持的话呢，除了 keep， 可以改用另外一个 M 开头，像是在翻短裤的时候有用过。So 主词、动词、无语。So how could be the translation? The key to maintain me. Friendship 可以加冠词，是一段友谊，所以是friendship。所以变成 the key to maintaining a friendship is mutual understanding. It's okay. So here please read an example together. Once again, the key to friendship is mutual understanding. Yeah, this is it. Okay, the bell rang. So like, please read the paragraphs again. The Greeks. Athena in the hall in the war. Athena was so angry about Paris' choice, provided the Greeks with the key to winning the victory by saying, "But began with an apple was eaten in the war." Okay, this is it. Tomorrow we'll finish the rest. Before we move on, one last reminder. Paris. Sometimes, if there's any word that ends with the letter S, but you need to talk about 所有的 still apostrophe and then one more S. 这地方有两种写法，可是呢 ，one is 就这样，有时候会看到，可是最标准的写法是要再一次 double S， 然后再所有的，这样知道吗？所以两种都有，可是这一种比较多。OK， this is it. Let's take a break. Thank you.